Node 564560 connected to Node 564562. Node 30094114 connected to Node 564560.
And good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. On the '08 machine, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airwaves with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater in Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. Find out more about our group, please Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage. There you will see the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, a little background on our operation, and also you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we stream our audio on WW7ATS 2-meter repeater, 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets underway. Welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Signed in by video link already is Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor. Richard, K7ITX in Kent. Jim, N7QO in Covington. James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. And myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else wishing to check into the net? Hearing none, let's go to Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor.
This is K9PQ. Good evening to everyone on the net. It's a little slow. There we go. I just muted the streaming output for myself. Yeah, today was a good day. We had our meeting in the morning, and then I met a friend for lunch. A woman that I worked with years ago, and we've just stayed friends. She's part of my dinner group, for those of you that know about the dinner group that I have been doing for years now. Um, she just, we, after I replied to that I was going to the dinner, she's not going to go to that one. So she said, let's meet for lunch. And that's what we did today. And it was really good to catch up with her, just to find out what's going on in her life. She's a grandmother and about to be a grandmother twice over. So a lot going on with her. As for me, of course, the big thing for me tomorrow will be the Super Bowl. Looking forward to watching that, and just really excited about the Seahawks being there. And it's still a little bit surreal to me, when we did it back in the early days with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom. There was so much hype around the team that it was not it felt like they belonged there. And I mean, I think they absolutely do belong there this year, but it doesn't feel quite the same. It doesn't feel quite real yet. So, but I'm really looking forward to a good game tomorrow, and we'll just see how it all goes. All right, I'll send it back for now. This is K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Yeah, all right. I see you bright and clear, Bob, on the TV side, repeater side, and also you're coming across on 2 meters really good. So looks like Wade's got things dialed in. Thanks a lot, Wade, for all your hard work. And yeah, I'm like you, Bob. I'm really excited about the Seahawks. I've been to I've been to 4 Seahawks watching parties in a row, and this one I will not be going to one. And so I'm kind of a little bit out of sorts, but I think I'm kind of glad because, with the Olympics being televised now, at least it's being televised on streaming, there's plenty to watch in the morning, and so and even up until, I guess, kickoff, for that matter, you could be watching things. I just got through watching the men's downhill skiing, the medal competition, and it looked like the Italians and let's see, I think Italians look like they got gold medal, and Swiss silver, another Italian third, or vice versa. Either the Swiss are first and third, and the Italians in the middle. But I think it looked like to me maybe the Italian won. I can't quite remember. But oh my God! I mean, they get really going. I mean, 90 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour. There's not a lot of room for error. That's for sure. You could, and that I was just talking to Bob earlier before the net. I used to ski a lot when I was young, and actually, I think probably the last time I went skiing was probably about probably around 18 years ago, and that was the last time because I hurt myself pretty good. I had a really good fall and just twisted my knee really good, and I decided, well, I'm not as limber as I used to be, because I could fall when I was younger, and it just wouldn't bother me that much. But in my 50s, it was another world, and the trouble is, I wanted to ski like I was still 18, 19, and 20. And that was probably a big mistake on my part, but because I do miss it. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to be in the mountains. You just feel so fresh and free, and you can see forever, and you're gliding down the mountainside. It's a wonderful feeling. So anyway, I'll be watching all of that as much as I can before the Super Bowl. So I'm happy that's on, and it's probably a good thing that I'm staying home, just so I'm not bothered by all the other festivities going on around me. With that, I'll send it back to Net Control. This is K7ITX.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's pick up Jim Covington, N7QO. N7QO, Jim in Covington. And apparently no response there. Let's see if James with us. WU7N.
Now? Okay, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I think I'm coming through here. Yeah, I hear myself there. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, I guess the Super Bowl starts at 3:30, or kickoff is 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern time, so it should be a good game. Bob, wow, it sounds like you're quite the socialite with dinner group friends. It's great that your friend there is a grandmother. My sister's a grandmother, and I'm a grand uncle now. So I guess if you're around long enough, it'll happen to you, I suppose. Something like that. So anyway, Richard, skiing. Yes, I have a friend who's very much into skiing. He keeps inviting me, and somehow I think skiing is something that is best done in your 20s, not maybe your 50s and 60s. But it's really nice of him to invite me. He said, well, you could just go and kind of hang out in the mountains. And you said, well, that's worth the experience, the mountains and the clear air and visibility and all that. So maybe I'll have to reconsider there. If you go to a ski place and don't ski, I don't know. I guess you bring good books and maybe a good glass of wine or something like that, and enjoy the atmosphere. So let's see. Anyway, I was watching a pretty good movie, a new release here, and I think it's just hit the United States, and it's called We Bury the Dead. A very interesting sort of apocalypse or micro-apocalypse kind of movie. So anyway, I'll tell you about that the next time. A lot of different angles on same old themes. So it looks like if there's only, four of us here tonight, five of us? No, four. Four of us, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dave, I'll hang in here as long as you and the other guys want to have the net. I don't object to it wrapping up early. I would like to say big thank you in case he's listening out there. Wade has put a lot of work into making Echolink work. And so also Lee, if Lee's listening out there someplace, do appreciate his work in with our FRN and all that. So with that, let me turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Dave. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, and I'm hitting.
WU7N, thanks for that. On subject of skiing. I skied for a long time, and once I hit 50, I said, I think I'm going to have to learn how to ski. And then at that time, I had accrued something like 12 weeks of vacation time, and it was one of these things, use it or lose it definition from the corporation. So I took up skiing, and oh boy, did I have fun with that. I didn't ski every day, but I skied about 3 days or 4 days, and then took a couple of days off, and then came back and skiing. I don't know, I really had a lot of fun with that. That was pretty good. I could ski backwards, so that was kind of interesting. And just had a grand time with that. I introduced it to my son and my daughter also to skiing. And boy, I tell you, back then, it was relatively inexpensive for skiing, but now it's getting kind of pricey. But let's see, on another subject, Bob was talking about getting new glasses last net around, and that brought up an interesting story. About 25 years ago, we did a TV story on a gentleman that had cataract surgery. It was just getting relatively new 25 years ago being used, and we followed through with the surgery with him and his eyes bandaged up after the surgery, which no longer is needed at this current date. But anyway, he was bandaged up for a week, and then we were there for him to have the revealing taking the wonderful bandages off his eyes. He peeled the bandages off his eyes, and he looked over at his wife and he said, "You a fat lady." And that we kind of clipped that off at that point. Didn't proceed with that part of the interview. But anyway, he said he could see, and he was excited about that. But anyway, some of the things that happen in live TV or when you're doing documentary type of things. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM. So I'm going to send it back up to Bob, K9PQ.
Yeah, I think I'm with James here that I wouldn't mind making it a short net. But whoops. Okay. This time I'll take off my headphones. I keep forgetting that the sound is going to come back to me delayed. Um, yeah, skiing. I did learn to ski. It was one of the things that my parents, I think, especially my dad, really wanted. We've got some Norwegian heritage. I don't know how much that played into it, but he grew up in Minnesota and South Dakota where there was no skiing at all. Lots of snow, but no skiing, and bitter cold, but no skiing. And cross country skiing, well, I guess it was a thing, but it wasn't a popular thing. It became really popular, I think, around in the 70s. Um, so uh, we did downhill skiing and or just regular skiing, I guess I would call it, rather than cross country. And I did that for quite a while. I took lessons for a while. I wasn't particularly good, and so I continued doing it a bit into my through my 20s, and tried again a little bit later. And I just kind of was done with it. I didn't have any bad accident or anything like that, but I just was feeling kind of done. Um, and glasses, yeah. So these that you're seeing are my computer glasses. They're my normal prescription, but adjusted to be like reading glasses, but a little bit farther away than normal reading glasses, where I like to have the screen a little farther away. I'm now switching to my bifocals, which are my everyday glasses, and I'm not a big plastic frame guy for glasses. I know it's kind of become popular again, but normally I would want the metal frames. But I wanted them to grip well, so that like when I'm working, I've had a problem where I'm working and I'm bent over and the glasses slide right off and bang on the floor, and I don't want that to happen. So that's how I ended up with these glasses. It was not a fashion statement, so, but I think they look fine, and they definitely get the job done. And it's just good to have them again, yeah, because for the longest time I was making do. My eyes are a little farsighted. I have a little astigmatism, but they're not so far out that I can't adjust with different lengths of reading glasses. So I was doing that to kind of compensate. And then I did have my sunglasses, bifocals. So for driving in the daytime, I could use those. But it's really nice to have everyday glasses back again, and not have to be switching glasses all the time. I will switch back to my computer glasses now. Um, yeah, I also want to thank Wade and Lee for their efforts to get Echolink updated. I appreciate that, and we're all set there. And I'll be reaching out. I'll be setting up with Wade a time for us to get together and talk about a few different things that were on the list today at the meeting that have sort of sat for a little while, and we want to make some progress. I think one of the big ones we'd really like to do is a presentation. We did our one presentation. It got taped by the people that we presented it to, but we never got a copy of it, and it was supposed to go up on YouTube, and it never did. So we lost that presentation. Of course, that's all out of date. That's all analog. So now we want to do a new one with our digital setup, and I'm pretty excited to do that. Okay, I'll send it back to you, Dave. This is K9PQ, and I'm going to say 73 unless people want to continue. Otherwise, 73, and I'll hang around to catch the rest of this.
Thank you, Bob. We got your 7-3. I agree with you. This will be a short net tonight. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX.
Yeah, it is coming around pretty quick, isn't it? So anyway, let's see. What was I? The weather. Let's see. It's 49.6 degrees, which is reasonable. Gosh. It was 60 degrees earlier in the week. I know that. I remember just basking in the sun. That was spectacular. But the rain, oh my God, the rain. I guess we probably got at least, I don't have my rain gauge out there right now, but at least on the weather, the television weather, they were talking about just about an inch. So I'm going to say I got at least half an inch of rain at my house, and then I did a little driving around, and the windshield wipers were going as fast as they normally go, so it was nothing strange. So as far as the Super Bowl goes, gee whiz. I'm kind of like you, Bob. The last one we kind of expected to get into it because we were so good, and this one kind of creeped up on us. I think it's kind of surprised everybody, but it is nice that it's on the West Coast. I'm happy about that. It seems like it's always on the East Coast or Detroit or Chicago or well, no, it's usually in the South. It's usually in the warm places, Dallas or Miami. So that at least we're getting up there a little bit to the north and just making up to San Francisco, which is pretty nice, and it made traveling a lot easier for a lot of people from Seattle. You can drive to San Francisco. It's really not that big of a deal, especially again if you're young, or if you're willing to make a 2 or 3 day excursion out of it. Driving is I can see a lot of advantages to that with airports the way they are now, and TSA and all that rigmarole, and renting a car and blah blah blah. So, which I'm familiar with, but I've got that down, so it doesn't bother me as much. But it should be. I've been listening to a lot of the so-called experts this week, and I don't know. I think the one thing I get out of this, all these predictions, is that the Seahawks better be ready for a trick play. It's the trick plays that are going to the trick plays and the plays that just are gain tons of yardage out of the blue. This is not going to be a football team we're playing against that is going to try and grind it out with us in the trenches. It's not going to be that at all. They're going to be scrambling around, running around with their heads cut off, and that could open up something downfield that could be really ugly. And then special teams, where anything can happen on the kickoffs and the the punts. So anyway, it'll be. That's the nice thing about football is there's, even though there might be a favorite, just like this whole playoff season proved out, there were the favorites were gone. It all got down to pretty much the last possession of each game in the playoffs, and that was pretty darn unusual. Made for exciting football, and not that I want this to be a one, but get that exciting. I don't know if my heart can take it. That's one reason why I'm staying home. Okay, well, I'm going to say 73 as well. I'm all talked out, so I don't know if it came around to me again. I think I'd croak or something. So, all right, Dave and Bob and James, 73, and I'll listen on out. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, we got your 7-3. Thanks with that.
Okay, this is WU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. I guess I should say I have skied before. It was some training I did in the 80s, cross-country skiing, and it was 40 years ago. Wow, it's just amazing to me that it's that long ago. But my memory of that is I was somehow aware of downhill ski fittings. And the whole idea is if you fall down, there were release fittings on downhill skis that would let you go and let the skis go. And my memory of the cross-country skis, and this was all about getting across the snow as quickly as possible, they had kind of like a little duckbill extension on your boots, and that clamped onto the skis, and man, it did not let go. And I remember getting safety warnings that, you can, if it's downhill, you can ski downhill, but don't treat downhill ski, or don't treat the cross-country skis like they're downhill skis, or you're going to get really hurt if you fall. So I took that to heart. I always took it really easy down the hills, but it was nice because it seemed like just, I understand why they have the exercise machines to imitate skiing, because as I recall, it was hard work, especially with a big pack on and everything. Let's see. Other hot news here. News you can use. I put in an order to Amazon, and the oddest thing happened. There was suddenly an extra $6 or $7 on there, and it was for shipping, and the order was for like $120 or something. It was odd things I couldn't just find anywhere else. Nutmeg is incredibly difficult to find. I couldn't find that anywhere, so I ordered that, and Amazon says they have it, so it'll be interesting to see what comes. And there were some vitamins, and then everything else was just pretty much connectors for amateur radio applications. So I'm anxious to get those because I've got several experiments and projects here that I need to connect one thing to another and just don't have the right things to connect things up with. So I typed with the nice person on the other side of the planet about where did the $7 come from, and they said, well, when you get the stuff, just contact us again and we'll just refund your money. So I thought, that's odd. It must just be something that just tosses that out there, and if you don't notice it, they're happy to take your money, and if they do, I guess they're happy to refund you. Let's see, yes, I wanted to tell you, Bob, I'm not a big plastic frame fan either, but I got these. These are my computer glasses. They're bifocals, and they're computer glasses on up here, or maybe they're down here, it's computer distance, and then up here it's normal distance. And they do help a lot on the computer. Sometimes I just forget to take my metal frame, very old, out-of-date glasses off for the net here, but when I'm doing numbers, these really do help a lot. Well, I can't think of anything else to say here, so I'm going to say 73s if we're all in agreement on that, and I'll hang in here until Dave closes the net down. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N, thanks for that. And I think you said it right. We'll go with a 73 even for myself. And so we'll wind down the net early tonight. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, broadcasting of digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. So with that, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off the net at 8:30. Good evening all.
Thank you, Dave. WU7N is shutting down.
Node 3009414 disconnected.